So I think we should be live here. We just give it a second for the stream to update and we'll get into the live stream. So just waiting around for it to actually update. I think it's 2 minutes until it update. Okay. There we go. Take that off. Should be live now. There we go. Okay, so lately we've been actually, going up in subscribers like a large amount in the last couple of days. So thank you for all the new people in here that are subscribing to the channel. And the views are going through the roof in the last couple of days, obviously because of Casper Coin and how much Casper Coin content I have on my channel. So for all you new subscribers that are joining the live stream, thank you. We'll be giving away some Casper Coin at 3,000 subscribers, so stick around for that. And in the meantime, today's actual live stream is going to be focused on mainly GPU mineable coins, what the future GPU mining looks like in terms of, we're just going to look into some of the coins, going to look into the hash rate distribution, what kind of future projections we see for these coins, and what that coincides with in terms of the profitability of them in the future. And that's basically where we're going to go from. We might just get into anything random if it pops up in the comments or something like that. Right, let's see. Okay. So mainly in terms of the GPU mining space, I'd say the coins that we're looking at, if we look on hashrate NO right here, I tend to rank all these coins based on emissions and not based on, the price or reward necessarily. Just because emissions is an overall how much kind of, not liquidity, but how much is being produced into, or how much the network is producing in terms of a dollar amount per day. So we obviously have Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Casper Coin, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin. These are all, I'd relatively say, non-GPU mineable coins. Even though you can mine Casper Coin on a GPU, it's still not exactly viable in terms of profitability. Which leads us down to Dynex, which is our next kind of coin in terms of the emissions, which would be GPU mineable. So in terms of the daily emissions, 85,777. That's a nice amount of emissions, I suppose. It's got more than Ravencoin, which Ravencoin notoriously only has GPUs on the network, so it's outperforming that. I know Casper had that same kind of rise a couple months back through, this emission schedule, overtook Litecoin, then Ethereum Classic, and the only one that Casper Coin has to really take over now is Doge. And that's probably going to send it, even higher if we see the daily emissions past Dogecoin. So Casper Coin has to reach around, I think they have nearly the same kind of supply in terms of, so we're at what? Oh, sorry, Dogecoin doesn't have that supply halving. Anyway, so Dynex is mainly the one that we'll be looking at in terms of the GPU mining side. I've scoped out a few of them as well. We've got Nexa. If we keep going, Conflux I'm going to discount because it's just a legacy coin. We're mainly focusing on the new coins that have come in after the Ethereum merge or just before the Ethereum merge, like Casper was one of them. Ironfish is obviously one of them. Claw, Radiant, BlockX is one of them. Ethereum Power, we're just going to discount that. I don't really feel like that's a good coin to be mining. If we keep going, Alethium, I'm relatively bullish on Alethium for mining it. But past that, I don't think any other ones are really poking out. Ethereum, maybe, just because they have a nice algorithm that's not exactly the best algorithm, but the fact that it's at least innovated some of the algorithm is good. So it's Blake 3 plus ETH hash. So the main thing that we're going to be looking at firstly, so if we're looking at Dynex, obviously one of my main metrics would be looking for FPGA progression, just because The progression to FPGAs is one that will basically take GPUs off the network. We saw it with Casper coin. If we go far back enough, we could see the, I don't know if it'll show this metric anywhere here. No, it's not going to. But there used to be one where it'd probably be this one, rewards per mega hash. If we could see further back in time, that would be nice, but we can't actually see. But obviously it was way higher. Return rewards per mega hash was way higher back then. And then FPGAs came on the network. Then that transferred over to ASICs coming on the network. So we're looking for coins mainly that are not going to have that rapid progression for GPU miners at least, just so we can keep profitability with GPU mining. Casper coin has already had that progression. Dynex, I believe, has the ability to have FPGAs on the network, but I think it's going to be very hard to implement that FPGA on the network in terms of the proof of useful work. So if we actually go over to the Dynex website, let's have a look here. Dynex, it'd probably be in documentation, Control F, FPGA, see if they've got anything. Okay, to scale their chip's functionality, they transitioned to using FPGAs. Moore's Law, the project fully designed chip that demonstrated in-memory processing. So they have some sort of FPGA integration at the start when they were obviously testing Dynex. I don't know how much transition that would be over to Dynex Solve, but clearly they used FPGAs in that process. So there could be future progression into FPGAs for Dynex coin. We'll just have to see about that. Not necessarily thinking that Dynex coin is going to get FPGAs anytime soon. Probably not. And in regards to that, I think it's a good thing because it's slowly rising through the market cap. So if we look on the Dynex chart here and we look at all time, you can see it's had a nice kind of run up from the start. We had, low prices here. We had a nice spike upwards. It came down. That was the all-time high, I believe. I believe that actually coincided with Casper coin. If we type in Casper here. Yeah, so they had a relatively same rise at the same time, Casper coin and Dynex. But for the most part, how do we get rid of this? Let's just exit out. There we go. So for the most part, Dynex has had a nice rise, and it's kind of at this range, I mean 0.91 to about 0.70 or 70. That is the range of profitability before all GPUs kind of go under the range of profitability for Dynex coin mining. The low, obviously, low power draw from Dynex Solve is good as well. Hello, Sadie, sometimes. Welcome to the live chat. So Dynex, definitely we will not be seeing FPGAs, I don't think, for a while. So that's good for GPU miners. Their market cap has been growing substantially. We're seeing a nice trend upwards. So they're not growing too quick where we need FPGAs on the network. We're growing at a nice rate in terms of, profitability for the GPU mining. And when we click on it, we can see on benchmarks that the actual Radeon VII is bringing in, like, if you haven't seen Red Panda Miner's video on his, those are basically really powerful on the network. We have the RX 7900 XTX, really powerful on the network. In terms of efficiency, the 4070 Ti is the most efficient, so you'd probably want to be mining using that. 6800 XT and then the 6600 XT. Surprised to see the 6600 XT, surprised to see the 1660 from Nvidia there as well. It looks mainly like AMD cards are the most efficient on Dynex, apart from the 4070 and the 4060 Ti. So obviously you'd want to, if you have a AMD heavy amount of graphics cards or GPUs, you'd want to stick to Dynex just because of the algorithm. Yeah, let's fucking go. Hello, Haram Abif. I didn't realize that your name was Haram Abif Kaspa. I thought it was going to be Haram Abif Mining. Anyway, I started to live stream slightly later in the day just because, there's I guess there's more audience awake for, mining content, I guess. Most of my audience is in the US, or at least around that time zone. So I thought I'd move the live streams from around 12 up until around, what is it now? It's 4:30 where I am in the evening. So dynex coin obviously mostly favors the AMD cards. So if you have a high amount of AMD cards, dynex would probably be the play. The other one I'd say for mining coins, just based on the emissions and that runs really well, is nexa. The only problem that we have with nexa is that it doesn't actually work that well with other mining algorithms. It doesn't mesh well. So with dynex, you can basically dual mine with any algorithm and it not be as intensive. However, with nexa, it's very intensive when you dual mine it with something else. I think it's just the algorithm that it uses, the nexa power. It's just super intensive. When looking in terms of the benchmarks, definitely Nvidia takes the spot for nexa mining, just based on efficiency. So AMD is not exactly as prevalent. So you could see if you were using AMD cards, mainly you'd go over to dynex coin. If you were using Nvidia cards, you'd mainly stick to nexa mining. That's kind of the advice that I would give. There are obviously other coins that we'll be exploring in the video, or the live stream at least, but that would be mainly the advice that I'd give to people that have low electricity costs. And basically the future of GPU mining is probably going to be within these higher market caps if they don't transition to FPGAs. So the reason that I say that is because there are some coins that will transition to FPGAs and that already have that won't sustain GPUs on the network anymore. Kaspa did sustain FPGAs and GPUs for a while. However, FPGAs obviously outbeat them, and then ASICs came along. So it's the morning time for everyone. Okay, well, that's good to know. I'll start streaming at this time then, and making sure to get more viewers from the where is that, the east coast, or is it west coast? I don't really know. I don't know how far America is behind. I've had this conversation so many times. I think it's 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 hours behind, depending on where you're from. I don't really know. Anyway, moving back to this, if we're looking at strictly for GPU miners, nexa or dynex, because their FPGA progression will not happen for a while. Dynex mainly just because it's so hard to, well, not hard, but it's it wouldn't be easy to develop onto the dynex solve algorithm plus the proof of useful work, because not many FPGAs, well, not many, I don't know how you would design it for dynex solve in terms of doing the useful work. How would you prioritize that over the hashing algorithm? That would be very hard to do for FPGAs. Hey Sterling, love this video. You are such a good creator. We need to start sharing your videos more. Yeah, cheers. I've actually been gaining a lot of subscribers lately, which is surprising. We're up, like, I think 25% overall in terms of subscribers gained in the last 30 days. So the content's been doing well. We are, picking coins, I guess, that people want to look at. Obviously, we've been doing a lot of Kaspa streams just because Kaspa has taken off. So you got to kind of play into the news a little bit. And a lot of people are subscribing due to that. But for the most part, we are getting up, and we probably will hit our goal of 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but who knows? It's looking on track to hit it, but we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, it's been good for the past couple of days or weeks, I guess. Anyway, as I said, Dynex for the FPGA compatibility. Don't really think that it's going to be coming anytime soon. Nexa, I don't know where we are at with FPGAs on Nexa, just because I think the algorithm is harder to code for FPGAs. I haven't seen any Nexa FPGAs like out there at least. I do know that they will allow it, I believe. Nexa FPGAs. Yeah, anything that comes up is normally my videos on them. So January next roadmap, such as mining industry. Okay, let's have a look. Next, the consensus algorithm is designed to work with FPGAs and ASICs, so it is, but I haven't seen anyone even like attempt Nexa FPGA yet. So I guess we're not going to see them for a while. We have seen FPGAs for coins like Lithium that we're going to be looking at. If we just go like, even though they're not widely available, I know that there's at least been some development for Lithium FPGAs. Obviously, this one's not in development anymore and don't use the framework, but at least there's shown some development for FPGA miners on Lithium. I haven't seen much development for them on Nexa coin, so I don't think that they'll be coming for a while on Nexa or Dynex between those two. So that probably alludes to the fact that that's why they're so profitable, or at least generate a high amount of revenue. If we look here and we go on all coins, it's probably going to be Dynex and Nexa. Well, there's Ergo there, but Dynex, Nexa, Dynex and Radiant. We'll have a look at Radiant in a minute. Dynex and Radiant, Dynex, Ergo, Ravencoin, Dynex, Lithium, and Nexa. So a lot of the newer cards do really well on those algorithms, and then you kind of get a mix and match as you go down the bunch there. But for the most part, Dynex and Nexa are the highest like producers in emissions for GPU mineable coins. The only reason that I don't include Ravencoin is just because I don't think that there's profitability to be had on Ravencoin yet, like we had before the Ethereum merge. I think a lot of those legacy coins got tanked a lot. Hey, I'm from a country in Hera, people. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so obviously Ravencoin, we're just going to leave that out. Just because it's a legacy coin. Same, I'd say the same for Conflux, Ergo, Flux, just because they receive so much hash rate, it just tanked the profitability. Plus halvings of Ravencoin before the Ethereum merge. The halving of Flux obviously tanked the profitability as well. So that's mainly why I wouldn't be looking at them to produce profitability for a while at least. But, you know, we're looking at coins like Dynex and Nexa. If we go back to our watch list, Dynex has substantially more market cap at around 70 million compared to Nexa's 10, 11 million. But the progression through on Nexa always has this like max supply cap. I don't believe Dynex does have a max supply cap at all. There's no halving or anything on Dynex either, so you don't necessarily have to watch out for that happening on the network, because normally when halvings happen, obviously it gets harder to mine and harder to squeeze profitability from the network. So it's good. I'm watching you follow you because of your mining purpose, but I hope you'll figure out. Okay, yeah, I understand. But I'm not really in any situation to speak on anything like that. Anyway, Dynex and Nexa, that's the two coins for GPU mining. Now, obviously, we have other options out there. One of them, obviously, which I've been very bullish on right now, is Lithium. If we look here, daily emissions is 11,445. We are mainly looking at a lithium to kind of mine it and put it into AN swap. So the one thing that I haven't seen out of Dynex, well, obviously Dynex because it doesn't have smart contracts, I don't believe, at least for the most part. Nexa will have smart contracts or some sort of smart contracts. Radiant won't. I don't think that Ironfish will either. So we've only got Nexa and Elysium on the list that will have smart contracts. Obviously, Elysium's ecosystem already kind of built out, like the building blocks, because of this AN swap, which is great for us. Obviously, we can mine Elysium and kind of not squeeze out more profits, but roll it into something else, which is going to produce more profits over time. So that might be a play for Elysium. There is obviously FPGAs somewhere on the network for Elysium. I can't point exactly to where they're coming from, but I know that there are some FPGAs on the Elysium network. Not overly loads, because we definitely see a decrease in profitability if there was loads. But for the most part, I know that there's definitely some there that people have produced. When we actually look, I believe that there was a problem on mining pool stats with Elysium. In terms of the hash rate distribution, not following the correct chains, so not following the 15 other chains, they're only following the 0, 0 chain. So if you don't know, Elysium runs on 6 sharded chains, and I believe that it was only monitoring 1 shard, if that makes sense, out of the whole 16 shards. But obviously, I don't really have enough information to actually speak on that. I know Haramabiff has more information on that, so I guess if you want to just leave a comment on what that actually means. I didn't really understand it the other day. Anyway, so this unknown is obviously people doing their own blocks. Let's have a look at the pools. Surprised to see. What do we got? Elysium pool, Coin Hunters, solopool.org, Wooly Pooly, and then Hero Miners. Hero Miners notoriously just keeps getting a lot of hash rate from a lot of these coins. What else do we want to look at? We want to look at Dynex, look at the hash rate distribution. I know the hash rate distribution wasn't as good necessarily before they started allowing more pools. I believe they only had 6 pools, and Hero Miners definitely had more of everything at one point. But that's a fairly good distribution there. Nothing over 50%. So you can kind of, I guess, say that it's secure in terms of hash rate. When we look at Nexa, let's have a look at that. This is one of the metrics that we always like looking at, is the pool distribution. Slightly coming onto the list says 41.6. So slightly higher, but that's still good hash rate distribution as well on Nexa. So I wouldn't have a problem in terms of, looking forward in the future. Let's look. What else? Radiant. That's another one that we'll be looking at. Slightly heavy on ViperNet. We probably need one more pool to come and take up a little bit more hash rate on Radiant. So if you are mining on it, then or if you're mining on ViperNet, at least take one off. The one thing about Radiant is I'm not seeing many nodes, so not many people solo mine into their own node. I could kind of say the same for Nexa. Well, 10%'s all right. Let's go back. What did Dynex have? Dynex doesn't have their own, I don't think. At least you can't set up your own node to mine to. Last one, Ironfish probably. Now, the reason that I'm talking about Ironfish is because of that new update that they're going to have, obviously, over to the new mining algorithm. This could be one of those coins that has that same profitability turn backwards. So now obviously there's FPGAs on the network, but eventually there could be profitability for GPUs when the network does switch backwards. So we'd be looking at that as well, like closely monitoring that for when that happens. We could have a look at profitability. I don't think it's going to be out dynex. I don't necessarily think it would be out nexa either. But we could at least rely on that not to progress through to FPGAs and ASICs because they've specifically reverted it backwards, so they wouldn't want them. So it could be a place to actually stick to GPU mining. So a lot of people mining to their own nodes apparently on Ironfish, but that's probably because they set them up due to the testnet, which was very kind of well done, I suppose. It says that it's got 72.6, but that's obviously relative to how many pools like there are. So there's unknown blocks there. Which one's better, dynex or flux? In terms of profitability, obviously dynex. Flux is a big network, so less profits necessarily to be had, plus the halving that happened. They haven't had a good like past year, I guess, but obviously they've had proof of work come in and they're testing all that, doing a lot of stuff with that. I like Flux. I've been a fan of it for a while. Parallel assets coming in, the Bitcoin parallel asset. I guess a lot of it is just building the whole ecosystem. It's more, I'd say, about the technology that they're creating, which directly could not link to the coin. So you might be betting on the actual coin and not the whole ecosystem for Flux, if that makes sense. But I'd rather just stick away from it until profits start to pick up, obviously. You could implement a yield strategy for Flux. I'm not saying it's going to go down or anything. It's probably going to go upwards. I think the market cap, like the all-time high market cap, was pretty high. Yeah, well, this is the all-time high, 137 million, and then it takes a massive dip down to, okay, never mind, this is in a day. It was at 600 million or something like that at the top, and it came all the way down to 432 there. The market cap's actually 132. I don't know why it's displaying. All right, okay, there we go. Will be profitability for 3,600 for the 6 months after. Probably not that much profitability on the for Flux on the 3060, I don't think. So I don't think that there'd be profitability. Sorry, I had to do something then. In terms of dynex, I think the best play to go for dynex if you have NVIDIA cards, as I said at the start of the stream, would probably be to switch NVIDIA cards over to nexa. That's going to produce more in terms of efficiency. In terms of dynex, if you have AMD cards, probably put AMD cards onto there. So anyway, we should move on to looking at the watch list. There are some other coins obviously here that we could look at into. Radiant. I don't think we looked particularly into Radiant. Let's go back up. The only problem is that Radiant does have FPGA, so it's already into that progression. So I don't think that we'll see much of a safe haven for GPU mining in Radiant. They've already got the progression. If you look on the FPGAs, they got that super scalar K10. I'm now wondering what hash, well, what FPGA boards they actually have in the super scalar K10. Does anyone know what hash boards they have in it? I know it does Casper coin. Can I give you a small bit of advice? Yeah, sure. Any specifications? Here we go. Oh, so I know that it says it supports a lithium, but I haven't seen anybody actually mine with it on a lithium yet, so I'm not too sure about that one. Mine nexa on a mineable and get paid in Casper coin. Yeah. So there are ways to obviously implement that to actually, get it on a mineable and then get paid out in Casper coin, just because Nexa is normally the highest revenue coin, which means that it would be the most amount in dollars. And then switching it to Casper coin, you'd probably get like $1 a day or something like that in Casper coin, mining on like a 40 series card, something like that. But I understand that that method that you'll be going to. It's a method that a lot of people will use. They'll just mine the highest one and then convert it into Bitcoin. It's a smart play, I guess. Just to cover your bets, I guess, if you don't want to hold Nexa, if you don't feel like that one's going to be the one that goes up. Unmineable is obviously a great kind of website to use. Well, not a website, a mining program to use, just because they'll be basically putting it onto the most profitable. Well, you can choose, but you can have it switching to different algorithms. Anyway, so the Superscaler K10, I don't have a clue what FPGA board is used in this, but apparently you can be profitable on Radiant with it. It mines Ironfish as well, but we can kind of discount that just because that's going to be reverting backwards. Lithium, there's no actual data out there. It just normally says, like if we go on coins, I believe lithium shows the benchmarks here, and the K10 is at 46 gigahash with an efficiency of 0.03 gigahash per watt. So if there's an FPGA board in there, that means that there's definitely FPGAs for lithium. I don't actually know anyone that has a Superscaler K10. Those kind of FPGA mining machines kind of went out of style, I guess, really quickly. When we're talking about the E300 from Osprey Mining, that was very good for, a good amount of time. And then, obviously, Casper had a rise to ASICs, and then they had to choose a different coin basically to specify into, and I think they landed on I know they have it for Kyler coin, but they have Ironfish, Radiant. So Kyler coin's been one that we've been looking at for a while. It's such low market cap, like it has potential obviously to take off. Would I hold it necessarily? Probably not, just because I don't really see much development going on. It's way too early to have FPGAs on Kyler coin. I'm not so good with holding Nexa. Yeah, I'd feel more safer, or a lot of people will feel more safer if they put it into a bigger coin like Bitcoin, or I mean, I think on a mineable you can actually put it into pretty much any coin, can't you? Like, that's the whole point of it, obviously. Mine your favorite non-mineable. So yeah, you can basically pick any coin you want to put it into. There's no problem for unmineable. Bitcoin, BNB, all the big ones, I guess. You can even roll it into Dogecoin. You can roll it into Flux, or these let's see, support. No. You'd want to basically go for ones that all coins and tokens. Oh no. So they got recently added Conflicts, Ironfish, Casper Coin, and Nexa. Max supply of 21 trillion Nexa. Can you imagine the amount and circulate and supply? What do you mean by the price? Because the price of Nexa is probably I I don't really know. I couldn't even give a prediction on it. It's way too small of a coin right now to give a prediction on. I see, obviously, it's got nice development team. They do really well. They were from, I believe, Bitcoin Unlimited, unminable, nexa power algorithm. I'll have to download. I haven't used unminable for ages, but there will be obviously a way for you to swap into. So as I was saying, Kyler coin, very low volume, very low market cap, shouldn't have FPGAs for the market cap that it has. I think it has 300,000 in market cap, so I wouldn't recommend having FPGAs that early on in the development of a coin. Same with even smaller coins, like I don't want to see mass Lithium FPGAs on the network. Same with Nexa, I don't want to see it right now. It's just too low of a market cap to really sustain it. You saw what happened with Ironfish. They weren't very happy. They said, oh, we're going to revert it because they probably want GPU miners, you know. If you haven't seen my video on how much power it takes to secure networks, that's the main metric that you should be looking at. But FPGAs will take that power away from the network because they're more efficient. Same with ASICs. So they probably want GPUs to keep it more secure, I guess. But the only really vulnerable time a network would be is the transition from GPU to ASICs. You can do Zerg pool switching too, but they don't pay in kaspa. I'm good with 21 billion max supply coin. BTC is a boss, but if you need some upside, go RX Flux. I'm comfortable holding Flux. Radiant Ergo is my thinking. I mean, Flux, let's see what Flux has been doing. It hasn't been doing too well, let's be honest with ourselves. It was at $4 at the all-time high. It's now at 40 cents. The halving kind of ruined it as well. Obviously, this bear market has ruined it. This is why you see these other coins that haven't experienced the bear market before. Kaspa coin, Dynex, Radiant, Nexa, none of them were in that bear market. Sorry, the bull market is what I'm supposed to say. So you don't really know what their all-time highs are going to look like. Nexa, Lithium, Claw AI, Ironfish, all of these coins down here, apart from Raptorium, haven't experienced the bull run yet. Ergo did. Ergo's price is actually moving all right, I suppose. Still way, way off the all-time high, but Ergo did get wrecked in the Ethereum merge. So, Dynex, I'm comfortable holding most of the coins here. There's some like Claw, which have had really good rises lately. Neoxa, that is just API data that didn't actually happen, so you can discount that. But it did have a nice rise. Octaspace has been alright, I guess. Near AI, Kyler coin's been down, but Raptorium, that's just for like mainly CPU miners. For the most part, I would be comfortable holding. I mean, one that's had a really rise from fame was Cadena, or rise from all-time highs is not a rise, but a fall from grace is Cadena. If you look at that chart, that's just like mainly, and I've said this before, if a coin surpasses that kind of low of 2020, like this range, you should basically just get rid of it. I don't think Cadena has necessarily hit that range that I was talking about, but if it like hits this kind of low in 2021 or 2020, then I'd say get rid of the coin. There's no point holding it past that. I see people stacking Cadena, it'll go up like 20% and they'll be like, we're back or whatever, but they've been holding on to coins that they bought at, you know, probably $10 that need so much more liquidity into the market cap to get it back to, I guess, selling price. One of the main things is obviously the supply schedule and how quickly ASICs, well, it started off ASICs, didn't it? So how quickly ASICs just ruined the network. I feel like the progression from GPU to GPU to FPGA to ASICs is a good progression. You should let it happen naturally. You shouldn't really force it as a developer. Just if anyone wants to develop for them, then you should go with it. But that's normally the best way to do it. You can obviously stick to coins that don't allow GPU mineability, FPGAs and ASICs on the network. XNA, can you sprinkle some salt and light, please? XNA is kind of working like Vast AI. It's one of these AI coins, mainly. Where's the website here? I'll show you now. Aims to be a platform to enable harnessing the power of AI, basically. So you can, I don't know, like, not exactly proof of useful work, more the setup of rigs to then, I guess, rent out your GPU mining ability. It's kind of just like the other AI coins. What's the other one? Vast AI, Near AI, Claw AI. Those are the main three for AI renting of your computing power. They require a bit more knowledge into setting up a rig in terms of the RAM, the CPU interfacing properly with the GPU. You need to have all the same GPU on the same rig. They can't be different. And mainly, if I'm going to be frank about it, they probably are used for cracking passwords for, wallets and, people's accounts for things online. So ethically, probably not good to actually rent out your hash rate for those kind of reasons. But they do produce slightly more profits than you would on GPU mining. What about Ravencoin? Sorry, I missed that comment. The only reason that we're not looking particularly at Ravencoin is just because of the halving kind of ruined it. It is still profitable on some coins. I'd say the algorithms have got so efficient for GPU mining right now, and across the board, I guess we have Lithium, even Ironfish, Dynex, the power draw, kaspa, even the power draw for them is just like, it's around half of what power draw is for Ravencoin, and Ravencoin is super intensive on your GPU. I know that people don't exactly want to ruin their GPUs mining Ravencoin all the time. If we look on benchmarks, mainly AMD are doing the best on Ravencoin. They're taking the top spots there. In terms of hash rate, the 3090 Ti is actually doing better than the 4090, which kind of goes to show about the algorithm around how it's based. It's not based on efficiency. Well, it's not exactly catered to efficiency. It's more about power, I guess. So that's why we're not really looking at Ravencoin to save GPU mining, in a sense, or be the future of GPU mining. Now I know Zill's listed here, but that's obviously just because of the dual mine ability. Do you have Near AI and are you comfortable holding this? No, I don't have any Near AI. I'm not particularly comfortable holding it either. I'm not comfortable holding... Let's have a look here. I'm not comfortable holding Claw. Not comfortable holding Ironfish right now. It's just, don't really know where that's going. I am comfortable holding Octa and Neoxa. Not comfortable with Near AI, and not comfortable with Kylocoin or Raptorium, realistically. Is there anything else? I wouldn't hold the Virus coin. That's the phone mining coin. I wouldn't hold that either. It's just, too much, well, not enough development to see, at least. too much risk involved with that. I'm looking to sell my small amount of Raven when it's a little higher. I mean, Raven coin is not particularly a bad coin necessarily. You get the gist behind it, I suppose. The all-time high was very, very high though, you know. And it's dipped below that low of the 2020. So like you can like, do I think it's gonna go back up? Probably not. It's never probably gonna go back up to the all-time high that it went up to. It's just not feasible realistically anymore. The supply did slow down just because of the halving, but I just don't think that it can reach up to that. Like, obviously, I'll eat my words if it does, but I just think it has too much supply on the network now for it to go back up to that. You know, the longer a network is alive, let's say, the harder it is to produce, well, to put more liquidity into it, or at least increase the market cap, just because there'll be slightly more coins on the next bull run and then more coins on the next bull run. So you need extra liquidity to get the coin's price moving, because it's split between all those other coins. So that's why Raven coin, I wouldn't really hold it, to be perfectly honest with you. A lot of the coins that we see here have nearly dipped below that low of, you know, so the main reason that I say that, and I'll explain that right now for all you people that don't really understand that. Bitcoin is the biggest coin out there. It's got the most potential, let's just say, for like, in terms of market cap, most liquidity. If the biggest coin out there dips below the lowest low of last, you know, bear market, you can basically count cryptocurrency outwards. So the fact that it hasn't, and there are other coins that have, kind of shows me that they don't have kind of what it takes to be higher in the future. So I wouldn't hold anything that's on the line of the same amount that it was before the bull run. So in the bear market of 2020, 2019. Meow coin, will it survive? Oh, I don't even know. Meow coin, it's not even listed on CoinMarketCap now. Let me have a look. Meow coin, how much is it actually producing per day? Did I scroll past it? No. $1,001 per day in daily emissions. What purpose does Meow coin actually serve apart from the fact that it's donating to cats? Like, I'm all for a good cause, but what, like, not everyone's all for a good cause. We're in this for profitability, and we're in this to make money to the point where realistically you don't want to work in the future. So if I'm being very frank, there's not really enough people that care about cats to be like, oh, we're gonna go mine this coin. Well, there's probably a lot of people in the world that care about cats, but there's not enough people that care about cats and that GPU mine to then like keep mining this coin and, you know, I guess keep buying it and trading it. Like, I don't really think that there's much use in this coin. So sorry to break everyone's hearts on Meow coin, but that's just the truth. It doesn't have a purpose. Not enough people have, well, not enough people would coincide with liking cats enough to donate, plus the GPU mine, I guess. Like, I like cats as much as the next person, but I'm not gonna sacrifice the profitability of other coins because I like cats that much, if that makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a good cause, but it's not really realistically what I want to look at. Probably not going to survive, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, there was this talk about Dogecoin. Kaspa's about to overtake it in emissions. Kaspa kind of does this, like, Dogecoin actually the only use case I guess it has, which is the same use case as basically any other cryptocurrency. It's facilitating transactions. Casper, same thing. You know, Casper doesn't have smart contracts. There's no ecosystem built in Casper Coin. As much as I love Casper Coin, smart contracts are coming. The whole point of it is payment processing. Right now, when smart contracts come in, we'll see where it goes from there. It can definitely do way more transactions per second than Dogecoin. So, in my theory, I'd say that it could probably overtake Dogecoin in terms of the market cap if it ever got up to there. That would be nice to see. I did say in the live stream the other day that on the low end, Casper Coin's probably going to hit up to 4 billion in market cap, and then that's going to be like a tilting point of whether it will going to go up from there. If it keeps going up, that's fine. 4 billion's around the tilting point of people getting scared, exactly like ASIC miners getting scared and selling off, because that's really high profitability right there, and that's really good gains on what they mined. But if they have enough conviction, then it definitely can go way higher. Kitten coin to the moon, sure. Black sails, sure. I thought Meow Coin and Neoxa would die together, but Neoxa seems to hang in there. Neoxa actually has a pretty good use case, in my actual opinion. The fact that you can mine it, I don't really know. Well, obviously I know that it's for, you know, upkeep in the network and stuff like that. Like, if you look at that all-time high, that's actually pretty high. Is this real data? Because I know that this is not real data. Anyway, Neoxa has way more of a use case, I guess, than Meow Coin, because people are going to play games no matter what. This is a better play-to-earn model than people just making tokens strictly to use in-game, which a game is based around one token. Like, you see all these token games where it's just really stupid. Anyway, the play-to-earn model for Neoxa, obviously being the servers that they run, and then you get rewards based on if you're playing on their server. I think that's a better play-to-earn model than most of the cryptocurrencies out there. So I'm okay with Neoxa having that model. I think it's definitely better than Meow Coin. Just like in terms of use case and stuff like that. Yeah, token games are the worst casino games. Yeah, they literally are. That is, like, everyone was so excited for what was those like sandboxes, kind of that play to earn model, I guess. Same with like Decentraland, apart from the fact that you had to like buy in, but you could earn coins there, here and there. I remember when is it D-Race? Yeah, D-Race is another one where it's like nobody really cares about the game. They're only in it. As you can see, there are loads of hype from 2021, $7. But basically, bet the house on this one. See, there's loads of people commenting on it. Anyway, these type of games where it's just strictly race a virtual NFT, get paid out in D-Race coins, is like the stupidest concept on earth. I don't know why anyone would even choose to get into that. Who knows? But I'm sure people are still using it, still thinking that it's the next big thing. I wouldn't say that. Wish items on Diablo 4 would be NFTs that you could sell. Neoxa is very strong. Neoxa announced you can get Neoxa tokens for playing CSGO. Yeah, I believe that they have an updated version. What was that coin? I saw a coin the other day that had the same model as Neoxa, but it was just different for miners. If we go on new coins, I believe it's this Good Morning coin. I haven't really fully fleshed out the whole website yet. I know that for sure. This is the Explorer, but let's go on Bitcoin Talk and see if they... Yeah, okay, so same kind of way that you'd use Neoxa. You used to play on servers and stuff like that. And these had listed Rust, Naraka, PUBG, LOL, so League of Legends, Dota 2. So obviously League of Legends and Dota 2 are big games, not necessarily for people in the UK, I don't believe, but definitely overseas. So they're probably running on the fact that a lot of people, that's a wide audience, and they can get people to play to earn, I guess, free coins. 15% into gaming, 70% in proof of work. So it'd probably be more beneficial to mine the coin than play the game and get coins from that. But anyway, yeah, it's a good concept, that type of play to earn, because you don't have to directly. Everything doesn't depend upon a game. So, Neoxa is strong. Good morning. I don't really know what is even listed on Zegex. We'll have a look now. Okay. We'll have a look. GM. Zegex always list everything. That's one thing you can bet on, that if you're looking for a coin, Zegex listed it. I mean, it just got listed like within a month ago, so who really knows what's going on with the coin? It's going to have to show a little bit more conviction to get my interest into mining it, or at least using it to play games. Neoxa is protected by smart nodes. Yeah, I did see that. From 51% attacks. I wish items in Diablo 4 would be NFTs I could sell. Yeah, in terms of the NFT market, I know that obviously NFTs have their actual use. Like CSGO skins are NFTs. The marketplace is just a closed marketplace. If that makes sense, you can't mint them out of nowhere. They have a percentage drop. NFTs don't necessarily have that, and you can't exactly inflate the price because you have to use real world money to buy this stuff, and then there's fees and stuff like that. Yeah, CSGO skins have a market. Exactly. So, NFTs have been around for ages. It's the fact that you can transfer CSGO skins, because CSGO doesn't, well, at least CS, you can transfer over to CS2. The fact that they allow you to transfer all the skins over is good, because that means that you still have that market. If they didn't allow the skin transfer, then that would be a bit annoying, and that would probably tank the prices of things. But you can't do that with. You can't necessarily integrate NFTs into games that are just starting. Like that D-Race game, it was completely built around NFTs, to sell NFTs, to use them in game. You have to build a game firstly that actually runs well, and then you introduce NFTs. But NFTs don't play a role in being better at the game, if that makes sense. NFTs, like if we're looking at it for CSGO or CS2, the skins do not make you better at the game. However, with all these other play to earn games which used NFTs, you could buy a better NFT and it would give you better rewards. Like you that needs to be eliminated for you to ever see a fair NFT market for a game, at least. Even with like games like Call of Duty, you can't implement an NFT market into it just because it changes every year. They'd have to have updated skins which would coincide with the same guns, which would basically mean that you'd have to keep the same guns every year for Call of Duty, and the same operating skins and stuff like that. So, I don't think we're definitely not going to see any good, I guess, use of NFTs within the foreseeable future. There needs to be some sort of game. If CS had the foresight. They probably could have converted everything to NFTs, but I mean, everything's already linked to your Steam account. There's no real way to duplicate the NFTs or the skins on CS, but yeah. But anyway, I like the Neoxa play to earn model. It's very good. Let's think about anything else we really want to talk about in the live stream. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Alephium obviously is building out their ecosystem through smart contracts right now. We have AN swap. If you don't know what AN swap is, there's a video on my channel going over it. It's basically a way to obviously roll your Alephium into a staking liquidity pool. I don't normally go for staking coins, but the fact that this was built specifically for Alephium, you know, and the ecosystem, I like it a lot in that term. And if Alephium takes off, like even into the $20 million market cap range, you know, AN is going to receive some of that in liquidity. So, do you have 500k nexa or more? No, I don't really have that much nexa. No, sadly, only 10k at best. Abilene's founder is referenced on Monero's white paper. Hopefully it will become big in the future. I did actually mention Abilene or Abilene, whatever you want to call it. How do you spell that? Here it is. I actually mentioned it in a live stream around 3-4 days ago. So basically focusing on post-quantum privacy preserving blockchains, so attacks against quantum computing, basically. Very interesting coin to look at. Not too hard to mine. I mean, there's some setup that you have to go through Windows PowerShell, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to mine it. It's not like a normal GPU mining setup. I'd mentioned this, and then I mentioned Factorn, which is a different kind of consensus. We actually bought some on the live stream. And it went up to, I think, $8 since we bought it. Factorn crypto, it was on ZegX. So we bought it at $5, but it went up to $8 there, or $9 nearly. How is your Alf solar rig doing? So we actually turned off the solar rig, unfortunately. What we rolled basically all these solo mining profits into AN, so to stake it in liquidity. And you know, I don't actually know how much liquidity. I think we had around 20 LP tokens. If you know anything about AN.app, you can calculate out how much that was from the solo mining. I mean, we could still switch it back on, but the difficulty is a little bit higher on Alephium right now. So, you know, there's no point me having it on if it's not going to be profitable. And yeah, so that's basically over with. But we rolled it into something that should hopefully return us more Alephium in the future without having to mine necessarily. So Abelian and Factorn, if we actually look, Factorn crypto, is this it? Factorn.io. Very basic website. You know, this is just a starting out chain as well. Same with Abelian. The research white paper. No, I wanted the white paper. So a market cap of 1.3 million. I haven't really got much information there. Anyway, it's a way to use factorization integers as proof of work, so it'll find the most factored number, if that makes sense. I don't really know how to explain it to you without just reading you the white paper, but it's an interesting thing to look at. We could top 100 rich list. So the second rich, well, so I don't know what this wallet is. This might be like a pre-allocation wallet. I don't know. But the top guys have what, 2,000 coins, so it very quickly drops down to 126. I've technically only got like 4 or 5 coins of it. I'm not expecting it to go up loads in the future. It's just, you know, a little bit of liquidity, or at least a little bit of dollars in each pie. I'd say that it's pre-mined. Okay, so I guess, yeah, that's where it comes from. It's pre-mined there. Anyway, that's mainly it for that. I'm also working right now. We are working on a course to actually help people crypto mining. We've kind of gone through the beginning of crypto mining, explained the profitability and stuff like that. It's not fully done yet, so that's why I haven't released any of it. Probably not for anyone that's kind of heavily knowledgeable in it. It's more for just people that want to start doing it as a business, or want to start it just like, you know, want to know everything about it. We're trying to provide a lot of information in there. We don't really know if we're going to release it for free yet. We're still wondering about that. But yeah, we're working on basically, like, we're going to have a section on GPU mining. We're going to have a section on CPU, FPGAs, ASICs, guides for everything. Might charge like $5 or $10 maybe, because it is a lot of work to put into it just to give it all out for free. But I think I'll make it back in terms of, you know, linking videos in through there, and then that would drive people to the channel to subscribe, I guess. But for the most part, we're trying to set that up so because if you look on Google, like, the main thing that I was thinking about when I looked on Google was like, how to mine crypto. I type that in, and like I click on this, and it basically says nothing. Yeah. Like, what is cryptocurrency mining? Mining using an ASIC is a type of device made to mine a specific cryptocurrency. Expensive, but also provides the highest hash rate. That doesn't explain anything about hash rate. It doesn't explain anything about mining power necessarily. GPU mining, high upfront cost. Like, this is not anything that would and then it's saying, like, you want to get into Cardano, Ergo, or Dogecoin. Like, so basically, I'm just seeing the gap in the market is that people will want to start mining cryptocurrency in the future, and I'm probably going to set that up so that people could visit that, learn everything about cryptocurrency mining, and then hopefully that transfers over to the YouTube channel, and we can get some more subscribers from there. So it's like a whole list of things, like a whole bunch of things that we're going to be looking out for. So I just think the gap in the market is that nobody really has a place to go to fully explain cryptocurrency mining in all the aspects. Normally, you'd probably get into GPU mining, then explore ASIC, maybe then CPU, and then it would probably go into FPGAs. That would probably be the progression. I just want a place where you can learn, or the knowledge is all there. You could learn about everything about cryptocurrency mining, even, you know, like chia mining, those type of different mining as well. Probably just want to make something for all of that, I guess. Hit an alpha block today at 99% from 1660 home PC. Well, that's pretty good. I don't know what the luck is on. You must have been mining for a while, I believe, on a lithium for a 1660 to get 99%. That must have been like 4 or 5 days of mining on a home PC. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I got to discuss about that. We've been streaming for about an hour and 10 minutes. I gotta head to the gym, get a workout in. So thanks for all sticking around in the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. There'll be a video coming out tonight kind of based around what the stream was based around. You don't have to watch it, but I'd appreciate if you just stuck it on. You can just put it on mute or something, just give us the views. And probably be live tomorrow, so stick around for that. If you did enjoy, please subscribe and like the video. I'll see you